Hello class, this is our third lecture video for ITMS 02. For this video lesson, we'll cover linear inequalities in two variables. What are we expected to learn in this lesson? So at the end of this lecture video, you will be able to define linear inequalities in two variables, and you'll be able to graph linear inequalities in two variables. What is a linear inequality? Well, basically, linear inequality will take these forms. In our previous lecture videos, we were able to cover equations, right? And take note na kapag equations na pinag-uusapan, we are trying to relate two expressions by using the symbol equals. Here, we are using these four symbols right here. And maybe as early as nung kayo pa ay nasa kinder, prep, or grade 1, natutunan nyo na ito. Itong less than, this one, ang symbol na to is what you call the less than, and this one is what you call the greater than, right? And as you progressed sa mathematics, you were able to cover yung may greater than or equal to, and similarly dito yung less than or equal to. So these are your four types or four forms ng inequalities. Now, kapag linear inequality ng pinag-uusapan, we take these forms. This one right here, yung may ax plus by and whatever symbol na gagamitin natin sa apat na to denote inequality. Then we have the term C or expression C. Take note that the A, B, and C here sa apat na ito are what you call constants or numerical coefficients. And that similar dun sa ating linear equations, hindi pwedeng sabay na mag-zero si A at si B. Because if pares na nag-zero yan, yung term na yan, we are left with C. Now, here are some illustrations ng ating linear inequalities in two variables. So we have 7 right here. Well, there are more than these. Well, ito naman kasi ay examples lang naman. So number 1, x plus y is less than or equal to 5. The second equation, or second inequality rather, 2x minus y is greater than 4. The third, 2x minus y is greater than or equal to negative 3, and so on. Take note, see numbers 6 and 7, examples 6 and 7, we have 5x is greater than negative 15 and 2 is less than y. Notice na similar dun sa ating previous na lecture sa linear equations, it's not taking the form ax plus by, right? So ito, 5x lang siya. We don't have the term containing y. But still, it's considered a linear inequality in two variables. Because in this case, sa ating number 6, variable y is free, meaning it can take any value of y. And for number 7, ganun din, we are lacking with the term containing x. That's why we call x here, this should be x, as the free variable. Now, what we're interested here is the solution. Ang solution is, as previously defined, is a set of ordered pairs na magsasatisfy sa, well, previously equations yung ginagamit natin, pero ngayon, we're dealing with inequalities. Ang solution natin is the set of ordered pairs that will make this inequality right here na katulad nito true. So, kailan ba magiging true itong inequality na to or itong mathematical statement na ito? That is, if you try to substitute the values of x and the y dito, tapos yung resulting value ng x plus y right here is indeed greater than or equal to the value of 5. That is what a solution of a linear inequality is. If you try to identify some of the ordered pairs that will satisfy this inequality, we may have ordered pairs 2, 6, 2, 3, 3, 2, 8, -2, and -11, 19. So if you try to substitute these values of x and y right here, lahat ng yan will result to a value that is greater than or equal to 5. So let's take a look halimbawa sa ordered pair 2, 6. Substituting the value, so 2 plus 6 greater than or equal to 5. 2 plus 6 is 8 greater than or equal to 5. Is this statement true or false? This is true because we know that 8 is always greater than 5. Another 2, 3. So if we try to substitute this one also, we'll get 2 plus 3 is greater than or equal to 5. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Greater than or equal to 5. Is this mathematical statement true? Yes, of course, it is true because we know that 5 is always equal to 5. Because yung ating operator right here indicates greater than or equal to. So may inequality and at the same time may equality na inire-relate. So the bar right here, ito nasa ilalim na yan, if you see such, ay ibig sabihin yan, equal to or equal to. Okay? That denotes equality. Now, of course, not all values of x and y will result to a value that is or that will be greater than or equal to the value of 5. Of course, yung mga tawag natin doon ay solution set or ordered pairs na hindi belong dun sa ating solution set. And examples of these are itong 3, 1, 4, -2, and -2, -2. So if you try to substitute these values to the inequality right here, you will yield values that are lower than the value of 5. That's why itong ordered pairs na ito ay wala sa solution set ng linear inequality na ito. In order for us to visualize or know the extent of the solution set ng ating linear inequality, we need to graph it. This slide shows the steps on how to draw the graph of linear inequalities in two variables. I will not discuss this thoroughly, but you may follow this step as we try to answer some of the given examples sa presentation na ito. And take note of this note below because this will be very useful in identifying kung alin yung solution set ng ating given na linear inequality. Let's have this example. 3x plus 5y is less than -5. Of course, dahil kailangan natin mag-graph, we need the Cartesian coordinate system. The first step you have to do, as indicated dito sa ating previous na slide, the given linear inequality should be expressed first into a linear equation. Bakit ba natin kailangan gawin yan? According to our second step, we have to graph the corresponding linear equation. So going back to the first example, if we try to rewrite this linear inequality into an equation, so this becomes 3x plus 5y is equal to -5. I hope that at this point, hindi nyo pa kinakalimutan kung paano mag-graph. If nakalimutan, you may review yung ating previous discussions. So, kapag nakuha na natin ito, na-transform na natin itong linear inequality na to into an equation, you have to graph it. And implementing or employing the steps on how to graph linear equations will yield this one. So this is the graph of 3x plus 5y is less than -5. What's the next step after graphing? Our final step is, step 3 says here, get a point on either side of the resulting straight line and substitute the coordinates of the chosen point in the given inequality. If the linear inequality is satisfied, then the point is on the area or region of the solution set. If the given inequality is not satisfied, then nasa kabila daw yung ating solution set. Well, that's quite a handful of words. Punta na lang natin sa example na to. Ang sinasabi lang yan, di ba meron tayong dalawang side na nabuo dito? This one right here, ito yung unang side natin, and then this is the other. What we're going to do here is, say, let's identify an arbitrary point. Any point. Kahit sa aling side. You may get a point dito or a point dito. And when we say a point, that's an ordered pair, right? Yun yung may x, y. In this presentation or in this example, we arbitrarily took the point 1, 1. Kung kinuha natin yung 1, 1, ang susunod natin gagawin dyan, based on our step right here is, we have to substitute the coordinates of the chosen point in the given inequality. Kung isa-substitute natin ito, we have the inequality 3x plus 5y is less than negative 5. 3 times 1 plus 5 times 1 is less than negative 5. What's the value of 3 times 1? That's 3. Plus 5 is less than negative 5. 3 plus 5 will give you 8 is less than negative 5. Is this statement correct? Of course, no. This is false. 8 is greater than 5. So, meaning, dahil hindi na-satisfy ng point na 1, 1 yung ating linear inequality na given, wala sa area na to or wala dito sa side na to ng line na to yung solution set natin. At dahil wala dyan, automatic na yung solution set natin or yung location ng ating mga ordered pair na makakasatisfy sa linear inequality na to ay nandito sa kabila. Ito yung may shade ngayon. Ito yung kailangan ninyong kulayan or kailangan nyong i-darken yung side na to. Itong pag-darken nyo ng side na ito will mean na nandito sa area na to yung ating solution set for the given linear inequality. Ngayon, kung medyo duda kayo sa pamamaraang ito, you may try to identify another point naman. You may take another point right here, dito sa baba. Tapos na rito sa taas. Dito naman tayo sa baba. You can arbitrarily take any point as well. Kagaya na ginawa natin dito sa taas. So in this case, ang kinuha nating point ay this one. Negative 2, negative 2. Kung gagawin nyo yan, isa-substitute nyo ulit ito dito sa ating linear inequality. And we will have 3 times negative 2 plus 5 times negative 2 is less than negative 5. Let's try to simplify. 3 times negative 2 will give you negative 6. Then 5 times negative 2 will give you negative 10. Is less than negative 5. And simplifying itong negative 6 and negative 10 will give you negative 16. Negative 6 minus 10 will give you negative 16. Then you compare it with negative 5. And ang pag-compare natin is less than. Now, is this inequality right here correct? Yes, it is. Negative 16 is always less than negative 5. That is why itong ating solution na ito or ordered pair na 2, 2 or negative 2 rather, na located dito. Dito yung region kung saan matatagpuan natin lahat ng values ng x and y na magsasatisfy sa linear inequality na ito. Hence, masya-shade itong baba na to. Another example. X plus y is less than or equal to minus 3. Of course, following the same process, kailangan natin ng Cartesian coordinate system. Then, itong equation na to, or linear inequality na to, rather, will be transformed to an equation. So, we'll have x plus y is equal to negative 3. By doing so, we'll get this one. Take note, dito sa number 2, solid yung line natin. Unlike dun sa previous na example natin, yung ating line ay broken. Bakit nga ba ganun? Take note, ang ating operator right here, or yung ating symbol right here ng inequality is less than lang. Whereas yung ating pangalawang example, less than or equal to. Kapag ganito yung ating symbol for inequality, it is expected na yung magiging graph niya, yung graph ng ating line right here, will have a solid line. Because apart from the inequality na symbol, we also have the bar right here sa ilalim, which denotes what? Ang dinedenote ng bar sa ilalim is equality. Kaya nga, ang pagbabasa sa symbol na to is less than or equal to. Similar dun sa ating greater than or equal to. So sa greater than or equal to at saka sa less than or equal to, dito sa dalawang ito, ang ating graph ay magiging solid line. Whereas dito sa ating less than or greater than, we'll have a graph na broken line. Ulitin ko lang, kapag ganito yung symbols ng inequality na nakita ninyo, ang graph ng line natin ay broken line. And kapag ganitong symbols naman, itong dalawang ito, will have a solid line na graph. Going back dun sa ating pag-identify ng solution set. Since na-graph nyo na yung line, you have to again identify any point, either dito sa area na to or dito sa ilalim. In this case, we select a point sa baba ng line na ito. So this is our point here. We have the ordered pair -4, -2. Ano yung next na step? We have to substitute these values right here sa ating linear inequality. By doing so, we'll get -4 plus -2 is less than or equal to -3. Simplifying this one, we'll get -6 is less than or equal to -3. Now, is this statement right here correct? Yes, it is. Because -6 is less than or equal to -3. Alam natin mas mababa si -6 kumpara kay -3. At dahil na-determine na natin na itong linear inequality na to ay tama for this given ordered pair right here na -4, -2, we know for a fact na yung ating solution set ay nasa area na ito, kung saan located itong point na -4, -2. Kaya ang magiging itsura ng ating graph would be ganyan. So we have to drop the point right there. Yan. Ito yung ating final na graph. Ito yung shaded portion ng ating graph. Another example, -2x is less than 6. Ang graph nito will be a vertical line. From our previous discussion, we have learned that if ang natira lang yung linear equation na ax plus by equals c, may term containing x, ito nag-cancel out, we will have a vertical line na graph. Now, if yung ax plus by equals c natin, itong si y lang yung natira, nawala ito, ang graph natin for this specific equation na to is a horizontal line. Now, for this example, dahil natira lang sa atin ay x, so it is expected that we'll have a vertical line na graph. Of course, kung isi-simplify, -2x is equal to 6, we'll have x is equal to -3. Kaya, itong graph natin na vertical line na to, tumama siya sa value ng x right here, which is -3. In cases like this, it is way easier to find or locate yung region kung saan nagpo-fall yung ating solution set. Because isang variable lang yung involved. In this specific na example, there's a rule in algebra or in math wherein if you try to divide both sides ng inequality natin with a negative number, in this case ito, i-divide natin ng -2 dito, then mag-divide tayo -2 rito, then we'll have x -3 right here. Now, for those who do not know this rule, it is most likely na magiging sagot nyo is x is less than -3 pa rin. But that is not the case. Since we have divided both sides ng inequality natin with a negative number, right here, ito negative 2, yung ating symbol na originally, which is less than, will become greater than. So, yung magiging final na form is x greater than negative 3. Ito yung ipa-plot natin or hahanapan natin ngayon ng solution set. And dahil ito ay isang variable lang na involved, hahanapin lahat natin ngayon yung sagot or region dito sa graph na to, dito sa Cartesian coordinate system na to, kung nasaan yung values ng x na mas mataas kay negative 3. And in this case, ang values na mas mataas kay negative 3 ay nasa side na ito. Nasa right side ng vertical line natin. Kaya magiging sagot natin ay ayan. Pero syempre, kung kayo ay medyo nalilito dun sa part na yon, na biglang may mag-flip, pwede nyo pa rin daanan yung unang method natin or yung usual na method natin, which is to take any arbitrary point on both or on either sides of this line. Another example, negative x plus 2y is greater than 2. Same process, nag-graph mo muna, we'll have that graph. Then, you arbitrarily take any point either dito sa taas or sa baba. In this case, we selected the point right here. We'll get an inequality wherein 0 is greater than 2. Is this correct? No. Kasi alam naman natin si 0 ay less than. Ibig sabihin, wala sa side na ito yung solution set natin. Nasa kabila. That's why our shaded region will be yung taas. And this is our last example for this lecture video. Y is greater than or equal to negative 1. Similar dun sa ating previous example dun sa number 3. Yan. Take note, ito isa lang yung variable. Fifth example, isa lang din yung ating variable, which is y, which makes it relatively easier na mahanap yung ating solution set. If we try to graph this one, we'll have a horizontal line right here. So, tumama si line natin sa value ng y na negative 1. And dahil ang ating symbol for inequality right here is greater than or equal to, so ibig sabihin, hanapin lang natin yung values na mas mataas or equal kay negative 1. Ano ba yung values or alin ba rito sa side na to yung may values na mas mataas sa 1? Negative 1. Ito ba or ito? Alam natin na lahat na nasa baba ng negative 1 ay negative 2, 3, and 4, and so on. So, hindi ito. So, nasa taas dahil nga greater than or equal to. Lahat ng positive values natin ay nandito sa area na to, sa region na to. That's why our shaded region will be this one. Yung pag-graph natin ng linear inequality ay ganito lang. Simple lang. So, ano yung 3 steps natin? You have to express the given linear inequality into linear equation, then i-graph nyo yung generated na linear equation. Then, mamimili lang kayo ng point sa aling side ng ating resulting na line. Then, you have to substitute those values of x and y dun sa ating inequality na given. Then, if nag-satisfy, ibig sabihin dun sa area na yun or sa region na yun located yung ating solution set. If hindi, nasa kabilang side. Ganun lang naman siya. And take note na lagi nyong i-shade, lagi nyong i-darken yung area or region kung saan located yung ating solution set. Basically, this ends our discussion sa graphing ng linear inequalities. For your activities, visit your official learning management platform and see the attached activity. We've reached the end of this video. Thank you for watching and please stand by for the next lecture video.